Hey guys, Dan here. And today I want to talk about the dark side. What I mean by the dark side. Well, making money, what's made me millions of dollars, has always involved navigating the dark side. So in this video, I'm going to show you the dark side and some of the pains that I've gone through and how I might handle them differently if I knew about it now. This way you can get there quicker because you can learn from my mistakes through time. And you can set expectations of things that you're going to probably experience, whether you invest in crypto, business, real estate, stocks, precious metals, anything like that. And so I want you to get your pen and paper out. This video will probably be lengthy, so please no crazy comments about Dan, you're rambling on, because I really want this to not be an engagement, 30-second kind of catch your eye, oh man, buy this token type of thing. I want it to be something that actually sticks in your heart so that you can make millions for your family and build a legacy. Okay, so let's get into it. So let's talk about some of the bad experiences that I had, some very rough ones. Let's start with actually stocks. So back in the day, a mentor told me, Dan, you should consider buying Apple and Amazon and Microsoft and all that. So I loaded up, put a bunch of my life savings into it in the 90s, right? And in 2001, there was a dot-com bubble. During that time period of the early 2000s, Amazon dropped 80% from its all-time high. And I had a big chunk of my money in there. Apple dropped over 50%. Microsoft was dropping. Everyone was dropping. And I was really frustrated because I felt like I worked my butt off trying to sell computers in my business. I put all this money in, and here my net worth was like dropping more than half in a matter of months. And I was thinking, I should just sell this crap and I'm done with this tech stock bull crap, right? And I talked to some mentors and I asked them what I should do. Okay, and I'm going to share this with you because those mentors told me if it worked for me and helped me through it, to share it with you. So what I did actually is I went farther. I actually doubled down. So when those big corrections happened, I actually purchased more of those stocks. Not every penny I had, but when I had extra money, I would dollar cost average, as I've been telling you, every single month into these, even when they were beat to crap. And then to make it even more painful, after 2001, a lot of these tech stocks went sideways for more than 5 years. So I was like, okay, I doubled down, now it's just crap. So I was like, disheartening, right? And then a lot of these stocks, today I own some of those companies, and again, it's not financial advice, but they're doing really good. And people are like, Dan, you're so lucky. I mean, this is from the late 90s till now. And yeah, it's grown a lot. But gosh, more than 27 years of patience. Holy crap, that was grueling. Same thing happened with crypto. I remember in 2014 when I built that crypto mining facility, and I was mining altcoins. And we were one of the first computer companies to take Dogecoin in 2014 on the internet. And I was mining a lot of Dogecoin. It was crazy. Not saying you should buy Dogecoin, but back in 14, that's what we were mining. Sometimes we'd sell it, I'd sell it, and I'd convert it to like Bitcoins and other stuff, right? So it was crazy because when I started mining, I think it was close to about $170 a Bitcoin. And I started getting a lot of friends excited about it. And so a lot of friends were buying computers to mine from me. And it ran up to almost $2,000, a little under $2,000. And everyone was pumped and they were buying all these computers. And then it dropped from almost $2,000 to $150. 2,000 to 150. Do the math on that. And so all these people were like, all these mining computers, Dan, you sold me. I want you to buy them back, blah, blah, blah. So, we bought some of them used from a bunch of guys. And some of them hung on to them and kept mining, right? And those people did well. If you look at my testimonials, there's a guy named Ryan Corbin, and he owns a bunch of like coffee shops. And awesome dude. He made a testimonial video for me because he was like one of the only few guys that had the guts to stick it through. So that was awesome, and he made a lot. So watch that testimonial. So then what was crazy is I bought all these computers back and I just turned them into more mining. And then that $150 floor in almost a few years, into 2017, turned into 19,000 a Bitcoin from $150. And people are like, dude, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Well, everyone else jumped off the ship. I just white knuckled it. And guys, I want to tell you, I was scared. So a lot of people are seeing my videos talking about AI stocks and quantum, and Dan's printing this money and that, and precious metals and all this kind of stuff. Dude, mid and small cap crypto right now has been sideways or down for the year in most cases. I mean, certain ones, way up, right? But overall flat. So people are asking me what I'm doing. I'm doing what I did before. Maybe buy a little bit, if it's something that I don't really like, yeah, maybe I'll sell it. But overall, I like the dollar cost average. And if you see all these AI stocks I'm talking about, and these quantum stocks are rocketing now, just message a guy named Sean Whalen. I spoke at his Lions Not Sheep in 2018-19, somewhere in that range. And literally a lot of these AI stocks people were buying. They were buying AMD, they were buying NVIDIA, they were buying all this kind of crap. And a lot of it actually went down. But most of those people who bought it, it was amazing. They actually hung on to it. I've been getting direct messages from people who saw me speak there at 2018-19 about AI and the cake and all the ingredients to AI. And nobody made a lot of money for years and years and years. And suddenly, overnight, some people are printing millions of dollars. So if you're discouraged in mid and small cap, if you've got good projects, or in certain stocks that you have right now that are good companies, you got to be patient, because sometimes stuff has to sit for 3 to 5 years, 10 years. I mean, I've been through it. This happened to my real estate too. My real estate that I bought in the 90s and the early 2000s, in 2008, 9, when the real estate crash happened, just plummeted. Like, some of this stuff was probably worth half price. And what did I do? I talked to those old mentors, those real estate mentors, and I started buying more real estate. And now people are like, dude, you bought all this real estate in 2009. You're so lucky. Dude, you know how many years it is since 2009? This is the same with business. I've lost $800,000 like in almost a little over a month, like in the time when I didn't have too much money. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're dead. And turned it around, made it happen, executed, took action. And you can do the same thing. Now, it doesn't mean be convicted to something that doesn't have a compelling future. So if you're in a business that is going to continue to go down and doesn't have a compelling future, then you may need to think about moving out of that, right? But if you're in something that has a bright future, it's like planting a garden. But everybody wants to hunt. They want to shoot their rifle, hit a target, get some meat. But a lot of times it takes 5-10 years. If you're 10 years patient, most good projects, if they're really good projects, can mature into something wonderful. And they could make you millions and millions. So when I post like pictures of my fun cars and all that, and you can see I've been posting fun cars for 25 years. I just like cars. It's just a symbolism. And I usually just spend extra money on those. I mean, if you can't write a check for the car like 10 times over, you shouldn't buy the car, right? But sometimes cars can go up. I think that Porsche I showed you a picture of is probably worth 10-20 grand more than I paid for it 6 months ago. Because of tariffs, and so like Porsches are more expensive. And the new Porsche Turbo S Cab is like super expensive. It's like $350 now, right? It's crazy. I got that thing for about $200, so it was just a little used, but pretty cheap. But I think it's probably worth like $220, $225 now, right? That Defender 90/75, some dude I think paid with taxes and everything over $100 grand for it a couple years ago. I got it in the 50s. That Tesla Plaid that somebody paid, $130,000 for, bought it a few years used, okay? About a little over 52.5, right? So like on depreciating stuff, you really want to think about getting it used. Some stuff new is actually worth more. But I made a video before about how to drive Lambos for free and Ferraris and stuff like that. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to go over that. Now, right now, there could be a lot of market volatility with crypto, with these stocks, because a lot of it is really run up, okay? And we may see chop and stuff like that. So Never invest any money in these speculative AI stocks or crypto, whatever you choose, that you're not willing to lose. Now, one thing I did buy a lot of this last week is, personally, precious metal ETFs. I really like those because I think as they keep printing money, you're going to see precious metals continue to rise. Yeah, not saying what you should buy or anything, but just look at the charts for gold, palladium, silver, that kind of thing, and it's probably got maybe a little bit of room to go. When I was buying gold in 2000 during Y2K, when we thought the world would end because of computers, though, I think it was about $325 to $350 an ounce, and people were like, "Dude, why are you buying that?" And I was like, I think it's like over 4,000 today, so not bad, right? All right, guys, and then another crazy thing with real estate, this beautiful property here that you see, it's humongous, right? It's really nice property, and I bought that like 25 years ago for $145, and all these like famous celebrities have been my neighbors and stuff like that, and that is 4 or 5x, but it's where I live, right? And I remember seeing it go up to like 4 or 5 million, drop to 2 million during the crash, and then but again, long term, man. So I want you guys to think long term with anything that you do. If it's speculative, make sure you're willing to be able to psychologically ahead of time adjust 70, 80, 90% drops and not like freak out, okay? And if you're interested in more, boring assets, of course, there are boring assets like 4.5% Coinbase, USDC, or even banking money market accounts or whatever that pay 4%. But like that doesn't even outpace reality and inflation, So I do some of that, but I don't do a lot of that. Mainly just for some dry powder, right? Okay, guys. So here's some homework for you. Just do a gut check with yourself. Psychologically prepare yourself for corrections. Now, if you can imagine 80% correction and you couldn't stomach it, then you probably need to sell some of it because you're probably over allocated in whatever asset you're talking about. And if you're investing in crypto, or if you're investing in like AI stocks and you can't stomach that, again, like I said, you're just probably over deployed into that. And maybe you just don't have the stomach for it because a lot of people just don't have the courage to make it through. I think you do. And I think you can be smart about it by doing your research, watching my videos and those things, and dollar cost averaging, and not exposing yourself to too much risk and educating yourself. Okay. Now, as you guys know, Bitcoin runs first, then Ethereum, then other alts, then mid caps, then small caps. Will there be an alt season? Look, there has been the last few cycles. And so my money is betting that there is. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But if I'm right, people are going to call me. And if you're along the ride, they're going to call you lucky. It's weird how people call you lucky when you do good and an idiot when you don't. All right, guys. How much does this video cost? What's the price? 10 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand? Zero. What you can do is you can help me by comment, liking, and sharing so we can help other people so they don't get wrecked and they have the proper mentality to engage in investing if they're going to do it. Educate themselves, make their own decisions, because ultimately you feed the horses, and hopefully you can create a legacy for your family. And then last thing, Ugly Unicorn Crypto Hedge Fund. We're taking deployments into the fund right now. The last day is the last day of the month. All wires and docs have to be in by the last day your money posts the first. It's open to accredited investors or higher with 100 grand or higher minimum deployment. If it's a right fit, great. I know 99% of you are not accredited or higher. That's okay. That's why I make these videos, and that's why I don't charge you for them. But I do ask you to take action right now and share this video. Okay, guys, I love you. Rock and roll.